Good afternoon. Welcome to the plantation. I'm your host, Master Gabriel. National interest. What do we understand national interest? What is South Africa's national interest? There is a document, a framework that basically specifies what South Africa's national interest is. And it basically lays out the roadmap of what we are with regards to our interests as South Africans. This also includes our position in the international community as well as our position on the continent of Africa. Now, I'm not sure if many South Africans know what our national interests are, but it is important that we pay attention to this because if we don't, we will never understand where we fit in a regional perspective as well as international perspective. Now, this document is published on the DIRCO website, which gives the entire framework and layout of what our national interests are. Let's have a look and unpack and maybe just try to understand what national interest is all about. Firstly, I'm going to look at what the definition says of national interest. South Africa's national interest is defined as the protection and promotion of its national sovereignty and constitutional order, the well-being, safety and prosperity of its citizens, and a better Africa and world. Let's repeat that again. The protection and promotion of its national sovereignty and constitutional order, the well-being, safety and prosperity of its citizens, and a better Africa and world. Wow. Now let's understand what these national interests mean or what they are for South Africans. So right at the top we have national sovereignty and constitutional order. This falls in the category of political interest. Let's unpack what this means. The Constitution lays the foundations for a democratic and open society in which governance is based on the will of the people and every citizen is equal before the law. I'll repeat that again. The Constitution lays the foundations for a democratic and open society in which governance is based on the will of the people and every citizen is equal before the law. Keywords: equal before the law. Every citizen, not a politician, not a businessman, not some executive with an MBA. No. Every citizen is equal before the law. That is the bottom line. Period. There is no difference. You cannot treat people differently because of their particular stature in society and their level of authority, whether it be public or private or personal. Every citizen is equal before the law. The security and defense of the country's territorial borders against any form of aggression are paramount, as it gives its people the space to pursue their dreams and aspirations. The territorial integrity of the Republic, that of course is the Republic of South Africa, must not be seen in a narrow light and includes land, sea, and air borders, exclusive economic zones, and continental shelves, maritime space, and cyberspace. Now, those are our political interests. Let's have a look at what our next interest is. Safety of its citizens. These fall under the security interest. The Constitution tasks us to ensure freedom from fear. I'll repeat that again. There's 3 F's at the end. Freedom from fear. Let me say that again. Freedom from fear. FFF. The Constitution tasks us to ensure freedom from fear. Human safety and security are a necessary condition for human development, improved quality of life, and enhanced productivity. Human safety and security are a necessary condition for human development, improved quality of life, and enhanced productivity. South African citizens must feel safe and secure in all aspects of their lives. South African citizens must feel safe in all aspects of their lives. Remember, we experience lots of crime in South Africa. Now, if this is our national interest as South Africans, crime is one of them, then surely we need to uphold that national interest as it states in this framework document. South African citizens must feel safe and secure in all aspects of their lives and in all spaces. How difficult is that? If this is the national interest, why the fuck are we not achieving this objective? Hopefully, not partially, not halfway through. It should be achieved completely. We all should feel safe in all aspects of our lives. And we need to hold the state accountable for this, because if this is our national interest and you're putting it out in a legal framework that specifies what our interests are, surely as a country and also the state representing that of the country needs to deliver on that objective. Shame on you, government. Shame on you. Number 3, it says economic prosperity. Or let's pop back on number 3. Actually, it's the well-being of its citizens. So let's run through that quickly. Number 1, that will be political interest, national sovereignty and constitutional order. Number 2, safety of its citizens. That falls under security interest. Number 3, well-being of its citizens. That falls under human development. The interests of the people of South Africa are at the core of its constitution and are I'll repeat that. The interests of the people of South Africa are at the core of its constitution and a people-centered approach, therefore informs the policies and programs of the state. The people of South Africa are at the core of its constitution and a people-centered approach, therefore informs the policies and programs of the state. The country emphasizes human development and human security within and beyond its borders. There are 3 main concerns. Let's see what these concerns are within our national interests. But actually this falls under the well-being of its citizens. That's the human development interest, which is interest number 3. The 3 concerns, like they state here in the document. South Africa needs to grow its economy, reduce poverty, and improve the quality of life of all South Africans. The 3 concerns that fall under the human development interest of South Africa, which is interest number 3. Grow its economy, reduce poverty, and improve the quality of life for all South Africans. Wouldn't we all want that shit? Wouldn't we all want that? Why so difficult that we can't even achieve the basics? We're battling with service delivery in some of the provinces. We're battling with service delivery from some of the municipalities. Yes, the Auditor General of South Africa released their findings and actually constituted that there is an improvement in clean audits within various municipalities across various metros in South Africa. Yes, that is fantastic. There's now at least a 50% clean audit threshold being met, whereas previous municipalities that were rudely wasting taxpayers' money have now actually decided to reconcile and also make sure that their house is in order. So I do commend the work of the Auditor General and those municipalities that are actually turning things around when it comes to service delivery, because as ratepayers and as taxpayers, we can't be paying municipal services whereas the municipality doesn't deliver, and we cannot be paying taxes when the state, or should I say the government at large, does not deliver the services for what we pay for. And that is just a fair fact. So I'm happy about this national interest that is actually mentioned in there, which I think is very, very important. South Africa needs to grow its economy. So we also need to reduce poverty, and we also need to improve the quality of life of all South Africans. The road to poverty is not easy because there's psychological damage in poverty as well. People don't understand generational curses come from one generation to the next. If there's a psychological trauma or psychological damage that keeps generations after generation into poverty, then that's a curse that needs to be broken. That is a definite curse that needs to be broken. That's why we need to do things differently. We shouldn't always follow the trend or follow what the modern world dictates. We need to rely on how unique and how brilliant we can be as Africans. I feel that is highly important. Interest number 4, economic prosperity. These fall under our economic interests. The Constitution instructs to improve the quality of life of all citizens and free the potential of each person to ensure their freedom from want. South Africa needs an economy that is more inclusive, more dynamic, and in which the fruits of growth are shared equitably in order to eliminate poverty and reduce inequality. Wow, motherfucking wow. I will just say that again. South Africa needs an economy that is more inclusive. Inclusive. Thank you. More dynamic, and in which the fruits of growth are shared equitably in order to eliminate poverty and reduce inequality. I think the government should clap for themselves for this one. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Inequality is one of the biggest stumbling blocks in South Africa. I know that according to the Gini coefficient, South Africa is rated, and also the World Bank Inequality Index, South Africa is rated also amongst one of the top 3 countries, or one of the top 3 most unequal countries in the world. I know at one point the World Bank did make it clear that South Africa was the most unequal country. Yes, nonetheless, we are unequal. You can view this when you fly over the various airports across the country. You can see where the inequality lies. On the one end, you have a luscious abundance. On the other end, you have a lack of abundance and resources. So the inequality is something new, something that is visible with a naked eye. And I'm glad that this was interest number 5 that fall within the scope of our national interests. So I'm happy that if South Africans out there, you don't know this, I will paste a link to the document, and then you can access and read this document in your private time, because it is essential and important for every South African to know what our national interests are. Secondly, on a sad note, the gentleman that committed the atrocity in KZN, murdering his ex-girlfriend, shame on you, man, shame on you. I'm disgusted at the way some men in South Africa act and justify their actions by taking a woman's life. I don't agree with that shit whatsoever, so therefore I cannot speak for all men, but for those men that have a voice and that are willing to talk against constant violence that we perpetuate, we need to stop this act. We need to stop this behavior. We need to start loving our fucking queens. We won't build a generation of capable and strong and willing men if we are killing the people that actually give us those men, boys, and give the life of these wonderful revolutionary generations that we can produce. We want to produce critical thinkers. We want to produce independent men. We want to produce people that are bold and risk takers. We can't produce those in our society if we are killing the women that have to give life to these men or boys. So shame on you, shame on you. I wish the law takes its course. However, according to the reports, the suspect in the murder, basically his body was found hanging from a tree not too far from where the murder scene was. So I guess no accountability by killing yourself. That to me is not justice. My condolences go out to the family, a mother from a child that was taken, a daughter, a granddaughter, a respected woman in a community, etc., etc. Potentially even an inspiration to whichever youth felt that maybe this lady inspired him through her actions. I am disappointed, but my condolences goes out to the family and everyone, and I hope that they manage to get through this and actually try to ensure that there is closure for them. Even though the suspect hanged himself, that is not justice to me. I feel that she still deserves justice and the family deserves closure. Once again, stop worshipping white Jesus. Stop worshipping white Jesus. Wherever you go, there's always a picture of a white Jesus. I'm going to ask the plantation community, do research and you tell me if Jesus was a Caucasian. Because to me that's an epitome of white supremacy. Why are we worshipping a white man in a religious form? That to me is white supremacy. Because under no obligation, under no circumstances, since when was Jesus a Caucasian? Do some research. Find out and come back. You can post your research or whatever you've discovered in the comment section at the bottom of my video. I just like to say, have a safe festive season. Happy holidays. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for visiting the motherfucking plantation.